What is going on, everybody? Welcome into Cash It. I'm Howard Bender. Adam Ronis here by my side. What's up, Adam? First of all, you know what? Congratulations on just surviving 18 weeks. That was the NFL season, because I got to tell you, harrowing is probably the biggest understatement word that we can use. This was just the craziest year, Joe, and I just want to say congrats on getting through it, man. Good job.
Yeah, congrats to you too. We know it's always a grind. It's crazy. We love doing it, but it does, especially as you get late in the year, you're like, you get into this routine and you know what day it is by what your assignment is.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Oh, I got a showdown right up for Thursday night. Oh, it's Thursday. Good for me. Good for me. Yeah. I mean, it's, excuse me. It's again, yeah, would not want my job to be anything else. Well, I mean, if I could just get paid for just like sitting around and doing nothing, that would be a hell of a job. But to sit here and to work in this industry is definitely a privilege and a pleasure. But holy cow. And it's not over. We got the NFL playoffs here. We continue our usual grind, right? Like at Fantasy Alarm, still doing the DFS playbook, still writing up games for Pickswise. And you and I are still going strong with this one here. But, you know, pretty psyched about it. A lot of stuff going on. How are you feeling about the this weekend's games?
I'm mixed. I actually went back and looked at last year's first weekend, and I think we're going to have a similar outcome. I think you're going to see 3 or 4 bad games and a couple close ones, and it's reflected in the lines. But there were some really lopsided games last year in the first round, the Super Wildcard weekend. I think when you expand the playoffs, you're bringing in teams that are just not that good, and obviously the situations with Baltimore, Miami at quarterback don't help.
That right there is the biggest issue that we're looking at right now is these two, these two teams just don't have anything. Cause we heard Adam and I are here recording on a Thursday. No, here you go. No Thursday night football. I had to stop and think for a second as to what day it was. So we're recording here on a Thursday night and looking at it, and Lamar Jackson was officially ruled out. Yeah, I think this Buffalo-Miami game is going to be just junk to watch. I think Cincinnati-Baltimore, I like the Ravens defense. I do, but their offense is, I think, just going to be so putrid that they just can't keep pace. So I don't think that's going to be that great of a game. I think Chargers-Jags, rock solid. Seattle-San Francisco is probably not going to be much of a game either, even in the rain. I think it's Jags Chargers for me, Giants Minnesota. Those are the 2 games that I think are probably going to be. Oh, I guess Dallas Tampa probably be a decent game as well.
Yeah, and those are the 3 games with the lowest lines.
Yes, it is. It's very. But I mean, for the same token, though, I mean, how exciting of a game are they really going to be? Should we just go through it here? Should we just go game by game, just kind of break it down, give our picks against the spread, and
let's do it.
Just rock it here. All right, start it off. Seattle at San Francisco. There's gonna be listen, the rain here in Northern California has been brutal, and down in Santa Clara they're expecting rain this entire time. The one thing I'll say here about the weather: Santa Clara is inland. Right, it's not coastal, so the wind's not going to be an issue at all. And the rain, in truth, it's been steady. It hasn't been torrential, more intermittent torrential downpours rather than a full blown monsoon where it's just painfully raining on you for hours at a time. It's not like that right now, and it hasn't been like that. I mean, it's been a lot more sporadic with those things. I mean, the problem with the flooding and everything is that it's just been a constant, but I don't think it really affects the offenses too much in this game. I think it is what it is. And I took the over on the 42.5 points because I just think that, there's not enough rain in this one for me, Adam, that's going to stop McCaffrey, Elijah Mitchell, short passes from Brock Purdy. I mean, this offense doesn't have a lot of negatives to it. And then I think, the defense will be able to hold its own but they're not going to shut out Seattle. I don't see like a zero burger coming.
Right. Yeah. I mean, we have matchups from the regular season every game. These teams met in the regular season and a couple divisional games. So the teams are meeting for a third time like this one. So we did see these teams meet a few weeks ago, and 49ers prevailed at home 21-13. So it was 8. And you're seeing what, the line at 9.5 now?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically pretty much similar. I mean, that game was in Seattle. And this game is at home.
And that game also, you didn't have Elijah Mitchell or Deebo Samuel.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, how unfair is that? Like, as a Cowboys fan who knows that you have to run the gauntlet to get to the promised land, to look at a team like San Francisco and you're like, McCaffrey and Mitchell is the tandem in the backfield. Deebo and Ayuk are the top 2 wideouts, and then George Kittle. Like, I mean, this really, obviously the linchpin here is Brock Purdy. And does Brock Purdy have the ability to, continue leading this team? And, we haven't seen Purdy put up like a real shit game, but I don't necessarily know if we ever gonna see one, because he's just gonna get the ball into his playmakers' hands. That's really all he has to do. It's more game management than anything.
Yeah, and he's done a good job of it. Short, quick passes, let Ayuk, Deebo, Kittle do their thing after the catch. And, at some point, I guess with him and San Francisco is he going to be able to lead this team from a 14-0 deficit, or if they're down 14 or between 10 and 14 points? That's when the pressure is on him. And I don't think we'll see it in this game. We might see it in the playoffs, and that's going to be key to see how he responds. But I don't think we see it in this spot.
Yeah, me neither. I feel for you, Seattle. It's been a tough road. Listen, I'll say this for Seattle. Geno Smith saved fantasy seasons. Like, no doubt. Anybody out there who drafted Russell Wilson or Derek Carr, you waited on QB, like Geno Smith was your savior. And he did a fantastic job. Kenneth Walker has emerged as an outstanding running back in a run-first scheme. We love Metcalf. We love Lockett. It's Seattle is who they are, but the road ends here. It's been a nice ride. Thank you so much for your service. And we're going to say bye-bye. And I think the Niners cover the spread, and I take the over.
I am going to say that they cover as well. By the way, Geno Smith, I tweeted this out the other day, was the only quarterback in the NFC this year to throw 30 touchdown passes. It's absurd. Imagine I told you that before the year.
The only?
Yes, in the NFC.
Wow.
Crazy, right? If I would have told you that before the year, you would have fired me. If I said, hey, here's my prediction, you would have like, all right, well, you can't work here anymore. That's just the dumbest shit you ever said. Also, too, I think this is around two where I think you're going to see more favorites cover. Last year against the spread, the favorites were 5-1 against the spread in wildcard games. Usually, this is not the round where you see the close games. It's the divisional game weekend. So I was going back and forth. I'm like, it's a divisional game. It could be close, but I'm going to take San Francisco. They're 7-1 against the spread as a home favorite, covered in 5 straight. 4-1 against the spread with Purdy. I know Pete Carroll's been good against the spread in playoff games. Seattle's actually 1-7 against the spread in their last 8. Again, I just don't think they're good. They got off to a good start. They backed into the playoffs. Again, this is what happens when you add in the extra playoff team. I think you're going to get a couple of bad games here. And I look, divisional games, third time meeting. San Francisco won both, but I don't see it. San Francisco's been so good. So yeah, I'm with you. I'm taking San Fran.
Yeah. All right. The next game on Saturday is the Chargers Jags. Now this is the game here. I think it's going to be incredibly close. It's like I love the Chargers. I do. I absolutely. I mean, you do too. You do too. And listen, like the I get it. Justin Herbert in the fantasy realm has not been a great quarterback. It's been a lot of disappointment. Austin Eckler, he's leading. He led the fantasy leagues in PPR scoring as a running back, or top 3 easily. But there's nothing mind blowing about his numbers. He's making all that the points in the number of dump offs that he's been getting, in this offense. Keenan Allen, I love him, and he's healthy. Mike Williams not being there, I worry a little bit about the vertical game, but they've dealt with Williams and being out before, and Josh Palmer and DeAndre Carter, no slouches at all. And then you've got Gerald Everett, and the Jags, they struggle in coverage against the tight end. So, I love the Chargers so much. And I think that, nerves could get the better of the Jags, but dude, I'm still rooting for Jacksonville.
Who are you picking?
I didn't say that, man. I just said who I'm rooting for.
Who
are you picking? You know what? The problem, the spread's what, 2.5 now?
I think it's 1.5 somewhere.
Chargers are favored by 2.5. I mean, I could see this being a field goal game, and I usually like to be on the side of getting points when I think it's going to be that kind of a game, especially it's a home game for the Jags. So I'm taking them in the points. I'm rooting for them to win, but I would not be surprised to just see the Chargers be, again, that dark horse team that you and I have been craving to see over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers here. I've backed Jacksonville a lot. I like them going into the season to potentially win this division. I just haven't been impressed with what I've seen, though, lately. I mean, you look at the quarterbacks they faced down the stretch to end the season: Zach Wilson, Davis Mills, and Josh Dobbs. They did not play well against the Titans. And I was on the Titans getting the points last week because I felt Jacksonville was going, but I thought Tennessee would cover. I thought Vrabel came in with a hell of a game plan. I know it's crazy to say when they lost, but they ran 72 plays to 47 for Jacksonville, and 2 of those were kneel downs by Trevor Lawrence late. They got a big defensive turnover, and that was the key. And I forgot who it was. Did a great breakdown. I forgot where I was watching. I don't know if it was ESPN or Orlovsky or NFL Network. They showed the difference was Dobbs is an inexperienced quarterback. On that play where he fumbled, he was looking the wrong way. If he would have seen the blitz coming from his left-hand side, Woods was open up top. But as soon as he dropped back, he stared to his right. Never saw the blitz coming, and that was the difference in the game. And that's why I couldn't see Tennessee winning that game. I mean, they ran the ball. I mean, Henry didn't have a great game, but he had 30 carries. They did. Trevor Lawrence did not play well. He missed Zay Jones wide open in the end zone.
Oh, well, that's the big thing there. I mean, and when even Doug Peterson says it at halftime, as he's going in there, talking about Trevor Lawrence's nerves, and now he needs to calm him down or find a way to calm him down. That's the first time I've ever seen, you never hear that about Joe Burrow, right? But here we are. It's Trevor Lawrence. This was this was the biggest game of his NFL career, and the nerves definitely showed. Do they calm for this one here, or is he just as nervous?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the first playoff game for Herbert too. I mean, he kind of played one last year against the Raiders that Sunday night. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, Jacksonville's weakness is against the pass, 30th in pass defense DVOA, and that's the strength of the Chargers. I mean, even with Eckler in the passing game. So I think this is the best quarterback they faced recently. Look, Jacksonville, give them credit. They had a nice run, but even against Dallas, they were down. They did win in overtime. Against the Ravens, they were down. They came back and won. So it's not like this run here, they've been dominant. And again, backing the Chargers is just nerve-wracking. We know that. So I'm not saying with great confidence Staley could do something stupid, but they probably will have Bosa, Khalil Mack. I'm going to take Jacksonville here. Even if Mike Williams doesn't play, as you mentioned, I think they still have enough here.
You just said you're taking Jacksonville.
I mean, Chargers, sorry. Yeah. I don't put any stock in the regular season where it was 38-10 Jacksonville. That's when they were dealing with a lot of injuries. Keenan Allen wasn't there. Bosa left in the first quarter. Herbert was dealing with the ribs. So I don't care. And that was back in week 3. Teams are different now. So I'm giving the Chargers the edge here.
Yeah, I mean, this game is definitely. I mean, to me, it's coin flippy, of a game. I think that there's nothing wrong with seeing this game coming down to 20-20, and then whoever's got the ball.
So I was speculating on what the primetime games would be before last week. And to me, this game would not be primetime if the 49ers were playing the Packers. I think 49ers Packers would be the Saturday night game. Do you agree?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be, I knew Tampa Dallas was a primetime game. That was without a doubt. Then I was like, all right, if it was 49ers Packers, no question that would have been. And then I did think Bengals Ravens would be. There was no way Bills Patriots, Bills Dolphins are. No way with the quarterback situation. Right. And not San Fran, Seattle either.
No, and and you can lock in, like you're doing just fine when you're locking in the New York market, putting the Giants in the middle game there. People get up and the Bills fans and Dolphins fans will be rabid there, but at least the rest of like the people, like the casual fans who aren't going to like lock in for all three games all day, are going to come in for that second game. You're pulling in the big media market in New York, and and leading into Swaggy Joe against the Ravens, them meeting for the third time as well. And Bengals to me are favorites there, but you've got the right thing go. Yeah, if Aaron Rodgers was in these plays, dude, come on.
It would have been it would have been the Saturday night game or Sunday night. Yeah, I was so glad they lost.
Oh, I think everybody is kind of glad they lost except for Packers fans.
Yes, that is true.
100%. All right, so I'm taking the Jags with the points, and you're taking the Chargers, and you're laying the points, and neither one of us feel 1,000,000% confident in who we like here because the Chargers have routinely let us down. Yes, and your rationale on Jacksonville is very much my same rationale about Seattle. Guys, it's been great. Thank you so much. This has been a hell of a ride. The bus stops here. So I think we're kind of in that similar mindset. So let's go to Sunday in probably what will be the easiest game to call. Buffalo home against Miami. It's Skylar Thompson. I don't know how you don't. I mean, the Bills aren't a team that are going to like blow you out and run up the score on you. But I mean, this could just very easily just be like 28-10, 28-7 kind of a game here. I'm taking the Bills. I'm going to lay the points. You?
Yeah, it's very disappointing that we don't get Tua. I think if Tua is starting this game, it would be very interesting because we saw what they did last time they played in Buffalo. That was a hell of a game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real unfortunate. I guess this is still a chance Bridgewater can play, but that doesn't mean much. Tyreek Hill was banged up last week too. He was limping on that ankle. I really haven't heard anything. I'm sure he'll play, but I don't know if he has the same explosive ability right now. And it's just, if Skylar Thompson's the quarterback, how the hell are they going to score? They couldn't score against the Jets with Skylar Thompson.
Hey, whoa.
I mean, I know the Jets defense is very good. Don't get me wrong. No, their defense is great. But man, and again, Buffalo has looked shaky at times, but I think they'll put it together here. And Miami's been bad on the road, 0-3 their last 3 road games. How are they going to put up points? I kind of see, like you said, I mean, even if Buffalo doesn't run away with it, I think they pull away and they should put up enough offense to cover this.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. I agree with you. I mean, very disappointing. I'll tell you what else. It's kind of crazy. Like, on the Fantasy Alarm Show, we're going to do a draft tomorrow for the playoffs. And, we're doing all like these, everybody's doing all the one and dones and stuff like that. For all, FFPC or whatever. Like, I'm in the FFPC, I'm fading the Dolphins and I'm fading the Seahawks because to me, it's the toughest matchups with, it's the toughest matchup for Seattle with the 49ers defense. And then Skylar Thompson leading the Dolphins to me is like ridiculous. And I'm like, man, how just crazy is the season right now that here we are in the first week of the playoffs and, from whatever angle you're looking at, from betting, from DFS, or just like a playoff draft, that you're like no interest in Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle. None.
It's crazy, man.
It's so disappointing.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen their numbers go down, and then it's Skylar Thompson against the Bills defense on the road. Not good.
Not good at all. So, all right, I'm not going to say it's an easy game to pick, but it does seem like Yeah, I love Bill. The Bills are the minus 850 on the money line. I don't know if
Got to parlay that, right?
it's a little bit too much juice for me. A little too much.
Parlay it.
Oh yeah, parlay it. Right there with the 49ers at minus 500 against the Seahawks.
What could go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? Well, we throw in the Giants and the Vikings. So, all right, here we go. Now, this is this is a very interesting game. They played a few weeks ago. Vikings won 27-24. We're talking about the Vikings being, I mean, everybody's like, oh, they're like the worst 12-win team ever. Their defense is crazy bad. They do have a good, solid offense. Now, the Giants defense has been surprisingly strong this year. This has been a really nice run for them. You and I talked about Brian Daboll and put a little something on that coach of the year for, what he's done with, with this team. This is a tight one for me. My heart wants the Giants to win only because then it makes my wife happy and then she leaves me alone. But I mean, the Vikings, Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, how do you not want to see these guys in the playoffs?
Yeah, this is definitely a close one, and the Giants absolutely can win. They almost did a few weeks ago in Minnesota. But I am taking Minnesota. I think a lot of people are, I guess, disrespecting me a little bit too much. Yes, I know their differential is negative, and they're definitely a flawed team, and they're definitely beatable. But I think they'll have enough here at home to win. They couldn't stop Jefferson or Hawkinson last time. And look, the Giants have had a hell of a year, but I mean, they're clearly a flawed team. Their differential is also -6. So asking them to win on the road, Minnesota's 8-1 at home. So I'm going to take Minnesota -3.
From a better standpoint, I agree with you. And I'm taking Minnesota -3. My heart wants the Giants to win, so I'm gonna put some energy there, but I'll hedge it with a Minnesota -3. I mean, yeah, I want to see these guys advance further into the playoffs. I think it would be. I mean, again, the biggest problem I think lately for the Vikings. I mean, obviously the defense in the last several weeks has been terrible, terrible. I feel like it all kind of just fell apart on them when the Cowboys just whooped their asses, right? I think they weren't getting, they weren't giving up as many points, I don't think, until that game. I think that game kind of tilted them a little bit. Let me just make sure. Let me double check here. Cowboys put a 40 spot on them. They gave up 30 the game before that, 17, 26. Yeah, okay. So they gave up that 40 points to the Cowboys, 30 to the Bills, 40 to the Cowboys. And then, then it stayed pretty much out of hand the rest of the way.
Yeah, I mean, their secondary is a major problem. Even Daniel Jones had a huge game against them when they faced off, and that's probably going to continue to be a problem.
Oh, that's a lock DFS play right there this weekend, right? Daniel Jones against my Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to be popular.
Now, let me ask you this one here from a DFS standpoint. All right, if you're going to stack the Giants, you go. I prefer to do something like Daniel Jones with Isaiah Hodgins and Richie James. That's the trio that I would prefer to use there. The question is I usually like something coming back on that stack against it. And so the question is Dalvin Cook or Justin Jefferson for me? Or, like you just said, TJ Hawkinson did a great job against them previously as well. Who do you like most off the Vikings this weekend against the Giants?
I think it has to be Jefferson.
He's so good, isn't he?
Yeah, except against the Packers.
Oh, right. They really, it was the Packers shut him down. The Bears did a good job against him too.
Yeah.
That was mind-numbing to me. Absolutely mind-numbing, for that. And I got to tell you, man, that it definitely makes me a little nervous when you start seeing, because Travis Kelce these last 2 weeks, he's been the last 2 weeks of the season, Travis Kelce did not have normal numbers. The 2 games before that, he was fine. But you look,
he hasn't scored in 6 straight games either.
I was just going to say, he hasn't scored a touchdown since week 12.
Yeah.
So when you've got teams that are focusing as hard as they are on a Travis Kelce or a Justin Jefferson, does it make sense to kind of fade that and go the other way? Because you know the defense is going to be covering them pretty friggin' tight.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really worry about it in this situation.
You don't worry about, you just think Justin Jefferson is just so much better than anybody in that secondary or any kind of like double team.
Yeah, I think he's going to get it done.
I can dig that. I can definitely dig that. All right. So I'm not paying up for I'm not paying up for Dalvin Cook, huh? All right, the night game. This is where we both took the Vikings, if you guys don't remember. The PM game on Sunday night, Ravens, Bengals. Bengals favored by 9.5. Again, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. It's all about the Ravens offense. I just don't think it's very good. I don't think they can score enough points. I don't think the Bengals blow them out. I think something very similar along the lines of like that 28-10, 24-10 kind of a situation. I'm taking the Bengals to cover the 9.5 points here. How about you?
I think I'm going to take the Ravens getting the points.
Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, I am worried about their offense, but I think their defense is playing very well. We saw that the Bengals struggled in the second half last week. Baltimore didn't play a lot of their starters. No Dobbins, no Mark Andrews. If Huntley is the quarterback, I will do this. I think they can keep it close enough. And Bengals have some issues on the right side of the offensive line right now. So I think they can keep it close, and the defense is really good. So I'm going to take the points here.
Take the points. All right. So, all right, we are opposite Ravens, Bengals. We're the same on Giants, Minnesota. We're the same on Buffalo. We're opposite on the Chargers and Jags, and we're the same on the Niners. All right. Chargers, Jags, good game to be opposite against. Same with Bengals, Ravens, yeah, with the 9.5 point spread. There you go. I like that. Monday Night Football, Adam Ronis completes the wild card round. It is your Dallas Cowboys against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's Tom Brady at home against Dallas. Monday Night Football. It's 2.5 point spread. Bucs are a home dog on Monday night. I'm gonna let you pick this one first.
Yeah, I definitely am worried about this game. Definitely concerned. I feel like everyone is picking Tampa right now. I will take Dallas.
Which bums me out. I'll say that right now.
Yeah,
it bums me out that everybody's so
Tampa.
heavy on
It's
them.
insane, like how many people for a team that's been so bad all season and everyone's on it. So I will take Dallas minus 2.5. But again, I would not be surprised if they lost this game. They have not played well down the stretch. But over the course of the season, they've been the better team than Tampa. I mean, we're just asking Tampa to turn it on. And like we've been through this numerous times this year where Tampa would have wins and people are like, oh, they're back. And they were never back. The one advantage they do have is Dallas is really susceptible in the secondary right now. And we saw Tampa 2 weeks ago take advantage of that against Carolina, where Carolina was really big up in the secondary. We saw Evans have the big game and Godwin have a big game. So I think they'll be able to put up points. But I'm going to take Dallas here now that it's down to 2.5 too, especially.
Okay. All right. I'm going to go on the opposite side for the spread. I'm going to take Tampa Bay with the 2.5 points, but I think Dallas wins this game. I'm kind of thinking that this in the world of is this scripted or is it not scripted? Adam Ronis, I ask you this. Dallas kicks a field goal, goes up, 20-17, and Tom Brady. No, I mean like not 20-17. It's got to be like a 1 point game, like a 17-16, or maybe 21-20, whatever the case may be. Dallas is up by a point. Tom Brady has the ball in the 2-minute drill to lead the team back for a win, and the Dallas defense holds. In the end, Tom Brady marches down the field. It scares the bejesus out of you, but the Dallas defense holds and somehow like turns the ball over and, you know, whatever, like a strip sack fumble or punching the ball out of Fournette or Rashad White or Chris Godwin's hands, something like that. And that's how it ends up. That's the way I see this stupid game going.
Hope you're right. I mean, it's crazy. Tampa is 2-12-1 against the spread in his last 15, 1-6 against the spread in the last 7, 4-12-1 against the spread this year, which was the worst. But like every other trend kind of points to Tampa. Brady 7-3 against the spread in his career as a postseason underdog, 4 straight up wins. He's never been a home dog in a playoff game. 11-2 against the spread and 9-4 straight up as a home dog in the regular season. Dallas is 3-10 against the spread in the playoffs since '98, including 0-4 since 2016. Dallas
do those stats hurt you to say?
That's just a painful reminder. I mean, the Cowboys have not been a road favorite in the playoffs since '96 at Carolina, and they lost by 9. They're 1-5 as a road favorite in the playoffs all time. So yeah, I mean, a lot of things still, and the Cowboys are 0-7 against Tom Brady. So like everything points to like, yeah, take Tampa, and they're a home dog, and you're getting plus money. But I cannot believe how many people are taking them. So I kind of like it in a way. I'm like, all right, cool. Everyone's against them, and I don't know. Maybe Dallas actually shows up, plays well. And it sucks because like Dak, everyone's killing him, and he has made bad throws. But a lot of the other outside of last week was probably one of the worst games he played. Like for the other games where he's throwing these picks, he's played very well the rest of the game. It's like these 1 or 2 dumb plays that are killing him.
Yeah. Listen, to be perfectly honest, nothing would make me happier than to see Dallas lose. Only because, and you know, it's not because of you, Adam, or most of my other Cowboys friends. It's Jim Bowden, and I, you know, I live for his misery at times, and just when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys. So, but genuinely, in my heart of hearts, I've actually, you know, stop telling me that Tom Brady, you know, it's like when a kicker, you know, oh, Justin Tucker's never missed a kick from under 40 yards in his career, and he's stepping in here at 39 yards right now. So this is about as automatic as it can get, and then he doinks it, right, and he misses the kick. Tom Brady's never lost to the Dallas Cowboys. I think there's also a bunch of numbers about the Cowboys playing on turf versus grass.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I feel like with all of this that everybody's, you know, building that narrative of Tampa. Yeah, I am normally a contrarian bettor anyway, and I would take Dallas on the money line, but I would take Tampa to cover the spread. Maybe it's also because I'm so sick and tired of Tom Brady. I was sitting there, what was it? A Get Up on ESPN. Well, their segment was, you know, who is Tom Brady away from winning the Super Bowl? I'm like, you know what? Did we not listen? I get it. The dude, Hall of Fame career. It's amazing. But this dude threw for 733 pass attempts, threw for fewer than 4,700 yards, significantly lower than what he had thrown last year. He's not a guy who wants to keep throwing the ball over and over and over again. I mean, there has been some decline. He is money in the bank in the 2-minute drill. I will say that, which is why it's going to be so amazing that the Dallas defense stops him here. But the guy is money in the bank in the 2-minute drill. The rest of the fucking game, though, it's a guy who is in decline. And, you know, I'm not, you can blame the offensive line all you want in Tampa Bay, but show me an offensive line anywhere that didn't have any kind of problems. Look what happened to the Chargers when Rashawn Slater went down.
Right.
Like, I mean, the Jets lost multiple offensive linemen. This teams go through offensive linemen like you go through tissues sometimes. It's just the nature of the position. So, like all of this nonsense with Tom Brady, I'm at the point now. I mean, I'm super done with it, and I will forego my need to needle Jim Bowden just to get rid of fucking Tom Brady at this point.
Yeah, I would like Dallas to finally beat him. And again, it's just going to be another terrible season if they lose. I mean, forget it. Dallas already gets ridiculed a lot. If they lose this game, man, to a team under 500, I mean, I hope they fire McCarthy if that happens. I mean, I know you won 12 games. No, man. I mean, the shit's got to stop, man. I mean, it's getting to a point where you got to change this, man. It's just not working.
Well,
if you go 2 years in a row and you don't win a playoff game, come on. I know it's on the road, but it doesn't matter, man. You're playing a team that wasn't good all year. You got to beat them. I don't care if it's Tom Brady or not. You got to win.
Who do you have? Who do you want coaching the Dallas Cowboys next year?
I mean, Sean Payton, but I doubt that's going to happen.
Why? Why do you doubt that's going to happen?
I mean, there's a lot of teams interested already talking, and you got to give up compensation. So,
right. I mean, I know Denver's looking at him. I don't know who else is, I mean, everybody's going to say that they're interested, but I mean, who's genuinely interested? Like,
I'm okay. I mean, the Cowboys probably won't do it, but I'm okay taking a shot on guys who aren't a big game and become coordinators that, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times those guys do work out. So,
do you want D'Amico Ryans?
I don't know. I'd have to look into that more. A lot of times you don't know with these guys. You know what I mean? So
I know. Well, I mean,
that's the thing.
I'm trying to, like, every year there's one person who's out there that's like, I mean, it was Eric Bieniemy for a couple of seasons, and he never landed anything, and then it was Robert Saleh, and boom, he was like top guy who got snatched up. So, I look at, like, who are the candidates right now that everybody's in on that they're looking at. And D'Amico Ryans is probably the guy who I think, ends up. But I don't necessarily know what kind of a scheme guy he is. Like, I think he could be more of like that Herm Edwards, Robert Saleh type, where they're not the ones designing the offensive scheme. Kind of a situation.
I mean, you see Dan Quinn's a candidate. We've already seen him as a head coach, and it didn't work. He's a great defensive coordinator.
Oh, I hate the recycled shit.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, the recycled shit is definitely something I think you need some sort of, you need to inject new life into the move, into the search somehow. But I mean, where are you going to go? We go to college ranks, and these guys come up to the pros, and the majority of them are just like bleh.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I never see another Urban Meyer again, I'll be so flippin' happy. So, all right, well, there you go, folks. Those are ours, our takes on these games and what you want to deal with as far as betting them. I haven't even dug into any kind of props yet on any of them. Have you?
Kind of looking at some Keenan Allen props at 6.5 receptions, 75.5 yards, I believe. Kittle, 3.5 receptions. I think his yards were only like 44.5. I know he's been under in the last two, but Seattle's terrible against tight ends. He had a great game against them last time. I guess the issue is, Debo's back. How does that affect him? But I'd probably still look at that. So, I didn't dig too deep in, but those are a couple that kind of caught my eye a little bit.
Interesting. I like it. All right. Well, Adam, what's on the agenda for let's see, Friday? You've got your NBA prop bet article coming out on pickswise.com. Thoughts, leans, players you're watching right now?
Yeah, I mean, my guy Tyrese Halliburton's going to miss multiple weeks, so he was going to take the court for the Pacers against the Hawks, but now he's out. So I'll probably maybe look at a Buddy Hield there potentially. Pelicans are in Detroit. CJ McCollum has been absolutely crushing it without Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson. So maybe look something there. I'll probably look at Julius Randle rebounding props against the Wizards. Wizards get crushed by big men. We'll see if Porzingis plays. He's been out. That would be a revenge game for Porzingis against the Knicks. But Randle has been just balling out. He's averaging 10.3 rebounds, and the Wizards get crushed by center. So I'll probably look at something for Randle. Let's see what else. Thunderbolts, Nikola Vucevic. I lost a prop on him on Wednesday night on points rebounds. He was at 15 and 10. It was 31.5, but Thunder are another team that do very poorly against big men. So might look at something there as DeMar DeRozan is listed as doubtful. Maybe Zach LaVine. LaVine went off without him. And then Jazz Magic, Lauri Markkanen has been phenomenal. See what his prop is. If Paul George is out, I'll probably play Kawhi Leonard. I did it the other night. I had the over 32.5 points rebounds. He cashed that easily. Tougher matchup, but at home against Denver. Oh, and Domantas Sabonis against the Rockets. They played each other Wednesday night, and Sabonis usually is around 41.5, 42.5 points, rebounds, assists, and he had 25, 14, and 9 assists against the Rockets on Wednesday. So I'll probably look at something with him as well.
All right. Beautiful. Beautiful. So that's out. And then this weekend, are you watching the games anywhere in particular? Or are you just sitting at home, enjoying it, soaking them up?
No, I actually might be out for these games. Yeah, I think potentially
you social butterfly, you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get to do it during the regular season. I always have a friend. He's like, "Oh, let me know if you want to meet up for games on Sunday," and it's just can't. I was broadcasting this year during the games, and in the morning answering questions and stuff. So it's just kind of impossible. So the playoffs kind of gives me the opportunity to watch some games out. So probably will do it this weekend.
All right. Well, that's very, very cool. I'm very happy for you. I don't do well watching games in public environment. I mean, I could if I didn't have to, break stuff down and really kind of, take a look at it. Not to mention I'm going to have a bunch of betting sweats and DFS sweats going on all weekend long because I will be neck deep in doing, going to have a full playbook, which if you guys are listening to this right now on a Friday mid-afternoon, early evening, I'll have a full playbook out for a DFS playbook for the 6-game slate. Then what I'm going to do, and this is all in this in the article to lay it out for you schedule-wise, 6-game playbook on Friday evening, and then I'll probably put one of the Saturday dartboards out. What I'm going to do is a playbook. I'm going to do a dartboard for Saturday and a dartboard for Sunday for those of you who want to play those short slates, and then we're going to have our Monday night showdown right up over there. So full DFS coverage over the weekend over at fantasyalarm.com. So you'll be able to find me at RotoBuzzGuy. You'll probably also find me on the Fantasy Alarm Discord if you need anything, you got any sort of questions. But other than that, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Cash It. We thank everybody for liking and subscribing. Adam, any parting words?
Enjoy the games this weekend and make some money off them.
One day you're going to say something moderately profound and blow my mind. I feel it.
Okay.
I feel it. I mean, I appreciate the cheerleading that you're doing here. We hope everybody wins and makes a bunch of money, and no doubt about that. Not saying I'm looking for full-time food for thought, but one day I know you're going to say something profound, Adam, and it's going to dazzle me.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Just wait for it. It's going to happen.
One day, a girl can dream, can't she?
Yes.
That'll do it here for Cash It. Big thanks to everybody for liking and subscribing. For Adam Ronis, I'm Howard Bender, and we'll catch you next time.